Hello, everyone, and welcome back to episode 118 of Pokerole. At last, it's been a while since our last episode due to vacations and sickness and all sorts of things just going around. Unfortunately, sickness hasn't been completely lifted, as you can probably tell from my voice. I am still sick, but I am here. I'm able to do it today. Everybody else is too, so we're going to go ahead and go forward. I apologize for any problems with my voice act or anything today, though, because unfortunately, this is something that's been dealing with. I've been dealing with a lot of just throat stuff for the last 2 weeks, so yeah, you'll just have to put up with it today. But before we begin, of course, if you like the video, where's my thing? There's my thing. If you like the video, do think about giving it a like. If you haven't subscribed yet, think about doing that as well. But if you really want to help out, of course, think about coming over to Twitch. We're trying to reach partner, but we need more viewers to do that. So if you want to come by, whether to lurk or to talk, think about doing so, because it does make a big difference. And we'd honestly love to have you. We also have a pretty cool Discord community if you want to check that out, as well as our Pokerole Discord community. You can access off of that. We have a coffee link if you want to help directly monetize my content. I have a merch store if you want to buy some cool stuff. Beerus, thank you very much for subscribing. And also, of course, we also have a wiki. If you want to do catch-ups on recaps of different sessions and such, it's all there for you to check out at your leisure. But all links in the description. And yeah. I can't talk. I'm like losing words to this throat problem. It's been going up and down lately. I've done a few streams. Some streams I feel like I talk a bit better. Some streams I don't. It's kind of random. I hope to eventually get over this. It's been going for 2 weeks. I assume it'll start going away soon. That's my hope, at least. But we will see. And I don't know how Tucker voice is going to go today. I'm going to give it my best shot. If I really can't do it, I guess I'll have to use text. I don't like using text. I like to actually voice it. But how's everybody else doing on the table today?
Super
I'm
duper.
doing great.
I'm doing all right.
Surviving. I should hope. A lot of people here have new computers. I assume that's because of Christmas.
Indeed.
There's only two people.
That's a lot of computers. That's a lot of new computers, though.
Yeah.
Now, you don't get new computers all the time.
Yes.
3 of us?
Yeah, I have
Oh,
a
you
short.
also do?
Yeah, I have a short video tour of my new computer.
2 is a third of
I
us.
posted in
Oh,
there.
2 is the third. Yeah, that makes sense. That is how numbers work. Especially if we just don't count beers, even though he does help on the table sometimes.
Yeah.
Thank you, Beers, by the way. Your HUD help is invaluable for Pokerole.
Right then. Are we ready for a recap?
I think so.
Yep.
So, viewers, as a general recap since it's been a month, Team Cheer has returned to Sea Spray after finally acquiring the services of someone who would be able to help Shaman out of their, not a coma, is a good way to put it. And they've gotten up to all sorts of shenanigans, and hopefully I can push them out of Sea Spray again soon, because I looked at how many episodes we've been in on this arc, and it's been a lot. So far, they have found what appears to be a Wobbuffet staffed mob of some description that is currently running out of Sea Spray. They've punched a wizard. Tucker has tricked a druggie. There's a lot that's gone on. I'm having a lot harder time doing this little brief summary because there has been a lot that's gone on. And I think I'll just get into the more detailed recap, because if you need to know more, the episodes exist! Gestures wildly at the playlist. I mean, that's fair, Ennio. And again, all thanks and praise to Ennio for all the work they've done in writing up the summaries of the various episodes, because they do such excellent work.
Mm-hmm.
Besides, we are actually now beyond the length of the last Sea Spray arc for both parts. So, yeah, good reason for me to try and push y'all out of Sea Spray finally.
Wow.
But to be fair, there's actually a lot more going on this time. And it combines going to the library too, so there. In any case, the last session was cheap shots. Brooke's brawling at the arena continues. During one such brawl, they start the match having relative success. However, as his opponent was near the point of surrendering, he noticed them putting something into their mouth before having a sudden surge of energy, which causes them to quickly turn the tables. Regardless of if they were defeated, they had still received some additional compensation from the sponsor of their opponent, who was seemingly trying to buy his silence about what happened. Which I believe Brooke refused, if I'm recalling correctly. As Brooke receives medical treatment after the battle, they see Deadeye come to speak with them. They remark on how surprised they were that Brooke suddenly lost when they had the advantage most of the battle, and when Brooke simply writes it off as a second wind, Deadeye retorts that, if that is the case, then that has been happening surprisingly commonly lately, mostly with tourists that are visiting the arena. He also shows general displeasure at the tourists that are visiting the arena and are deciding to stick around rather than enjoying the sport once and heading on their way. Brooke offers to help out Deadeye with getting rid of any poor sportsmons. That's clever, sportsmons. Explaining that, in truth, they did notice their opponent ingesting something. Deadeye is impressed that Brooke caught on to his implications and is openly grateful for the offer. Brooke asks Deadeye if there are any Pokemon he's currently suspicious of, and Deadeye says he'll let Brooke know when he pinpoints a particular suspect. Meanwhile, Tucker decides to casually wander around Sea Spray. Side note, Tucker actually spoke with V about their letter, so yay, more side quests, potentially.
Side quests properly obtained. In fact, I recall Tucker more or less being like, yeah, we'll probably do that when we leave town. So.
Yes. No more stopping the main quest right now. As they do, they bump into a malnourished Chimchar who asks if Tucker could offer them some money. Tucker notices them clutching one of their arms, and as they hand over 5 Poke, asks what's wrong with their arm. The Chimchar refuses to elaborate, thanks Tucker for the money, and tries to walk away. Tucker sees scratches on the arm as they hurry away that look as if they were self-inflicted, and decides to follow behind them. They sneakily stalk the Chimchar and see them heading down some somewhat rough alleyways. Eventually, they see the Chimchar reach a Wobbuffet and hand over the Poke they had in exchange for what appears to be candy, pleading with them to cut them a deal for at least just one of them. The Chimchar immediately eats the candy and is shooed away by the Wobbuffet. Tucker follows after the Chimchar to ask about it, but the Chimchar explains nervously that they feel that they needed the candy, with one hand extensively going up to claw at the arm with all the scratches on it. Tucker makes the decision to convince the Chimchar to go with him under the pretense of getting more candy, claiming he knows a guy at the arena who could help him out. Ah yes, candy. Ginormous air quotes. Candy, size 11 font, air quotes, size 56.
Look, Tucker had dare classes in school, probably. He gets a few things.
You do realize dare didn't work, right?
Yes, I am aware. I actually had that experience IRL when I was younger. And I don't remember any of it, really.
Yep. Anyway.
I don't know if it was called Dare, but it worked like crazy on me. Like, they were going through the slideshows, like, and this is what you look like after this drug. Okay, that's enough. And they keep switching the slides. And this person clawed their skin off because they were hallucinating. Okay, I'm done. You scared me enough.
Meanwhile, Ralph and Ryda leave Sandbar Blue, just barely missing Tucker leading the Chimchar towards the arena. And this is a running theme of the session, by the way, is Tucker being right next to everybody else, but not ever interacting.
He's a shadow.
With an unknown passcode for... It's not that the passcode was unknown, it's that I didn't have anything preset. You have a passcode for something from the Wobbuffet that Ralph had previously gotten sloshed. Recalling Ryda scrying for the Whooper's location and noticing a pasta restaurant, they decide to ask nearby Pokemon about any pasta restaurants. While they don't find the Whooper immediately, Ralph happens across a shop that sells pasta wigs run by a oh god, I forgot about the pasta wigs. Run by a furfrou, and immediately starts giving them inspiration to expand upon the possibilities of grain-crafted accessories. Eventually, they come across the restaurant they were searching for, noticing that it is filled with Wobbuffet. Ryda decides to teleport onto the top of the restaurant without letting Ralph know their plan to attempt to find a way in. Meanwhile, Ralph, thinking people would be suspicious of a Snorlax choosing not to enter a restaurant would be suspicious, decides to go inside on his own. On the rooftop, Ryda is immediately blasted with water and knocked back to the ground exactly as Ralph enters. However, they luckily land on cushions to prevent further injury, and they decide to hide from the presumed Klawitzer via alleyways as they tend to their injuries. Then, they test if the Klawitzer still knows their location by sending a double-team duplicate to the open streets, but there is no shot. They scry for the Klawitzer, and, while they cannot pinpoint the location, they learn that the Klawitzer currently has them in their sights. Trying to make use of the opportunity, Ryda attempts to ascertain which point exactly the Klawitzer can see them from to mark them, but their idea has little success due to the Klawitzer's experience. Meanwhile, Ralph looks around the restaurant and requests a table for two before being directed to said table past many Wobbuffets. As he walks, Ralph sees no sign of the Whooper at this point. He sits down and orders a dish while continuing to survey the restaurant, while also looking through the window on occasion to check if Ryda was okay. Which, by the way, Ralph hasn't been able to see Ryda.
Yeah, as Ralph is completely unaware of the current peril, right?
Yeah.
Oh right, there's options for Tabletop Simulator now.
Options?
Yeah, like launch in VR or use OpenGL.
Oh, right.
Also, Kibby, no, Warhammer is not like Dungeons and Dragons. It is literally a war game.
Yeah, I've never thought of playing like a role-playing war game. I know that's a bit different from like an adventure D&D sort of thing.
Like, Kibby, this is not the place to ask about Warhammer, or necessarily the time. There's way too much to go into.
The war game style tabletop stuff does seem interesting. I know nothing about playing it though. Have you shown the art chart? I scroll up in the chat. I actually said something about that. And actually, that would be a good time. I didn't want to show art during the recap because it's been so long. I really need to actually listen to the recap. And when I share art, I tend to miss parts of the recap. So I'll share art now, though.
Yes, I've noticed that anytime Charm has to do something away from the table, people have to repeat things.
I'm sorry.
Mm-hmm.
I try to judge it based on like, okay, well, I really know what I did last session, so it's okay if I don't pay attention. Thing is, I'm not gonna multitask, and if my brain's on one thing, I can't listen to people.
It's okay. No, I've understood this as fact for a while. It's just very noticeable when people keep drawing you away.
Yeah, that's why I've basically I've done. I don't know if this is a subtle thing, but over time I have made it so people don't bother me as much while I'm doing Pokerole, like online and stuff. Like I've shut more and more of that out, so that can't be as interruptive. But anyways, yeah, this was Zebachi drew this for last episode thumbnail because Deadeye's cool conversation Brooke had him do like some sort of Thunderbolt blast or something, and right at that moment my fucking router died. So this was drawn. As far as the pasta shop, we got something from Ennio here for that. Here you go. We got the furfro. We also have, as I believe, a reference to the attack that Rita suffered at the end of last session. Ennio drew this.
Oh, yeah.
Dun 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 dun.
And Reese commissioned Gandari for this. It was kind of a Christmas thing. I like how the heart I drew on the table is down next to Tucker. Which was just a cute little scene of all the characters.
A great piece.
I was planning to commission that also. Commission what also?
Oh, this lovely group picture.
It's a good one. I'll leave it on the table.
Very good.
One advantage of sharing the art after the recap is I could just say what the art is rather than having to type on the little thing to explain what the art is. Yeah, you did a really good job. This was a really thoughtful commission, Reese. I really appreciate it. And Gandari did a good job.
I can't get over the way that Brooke looks.
Brooke, yes.
The expressions were nailed on everyone.
Gandari, it has this like impish skill with expressions. As an artist, they're just insane sometimes with expression work. In the good sort of way. Tucker has big belly. Very good belly.
Tucker is huge in this image.
Yeah, the size, like overall size, Tucker's actually maybe a little too large. I just realized, yeah. But that's okay. Flatbrook Friday.
Oh, lovely. Right, so we have a few places that we can zero in on to begin with. There is Tucker at the gladiatorial arena, who has led the Chimchar there, and they barely passed Brooke.
Yes.
It wasn't mentioned in the detail recap, but Brooke had just left from their conversation with Deadeye.
Which is unfortunate, because Tucker was definitely going to go to the arena look for Brooke.
Yes, but I know you had a backup plan for
yes, which is more interesting, so it's fine.
Potentially. Oh no, I'm gonna have to... Oh well, no, I can do that once for the day, I think. I don't know what Brooke intended to do out in town.
I don't remember either. What was Brooke doing?
I don't know that Kyrio had a plan or not. And then we have Ralph and Rita at the pasta shop. And I'm gonna keep calling it a pasta shop because that's easier to say than restaurant.
Okay, the amount of times I've seen the question, oh, this Pokerole thing, is it on mobile? Friend, this is a TTS mod. Sir, this is a Wendy's. I've seen that question a lot. People don't seem to understand it's just TTS. They thought I made my own game or something. I'm flattered, but...
Oh, goodness. No, I'm not quite sure how you could mistake this for being on mobile, I'm afraid. But no, it's a tabletop system. It does look very nice. There was a lot of effort put into this table.
Speaking of tables, if you don't mind a small cross promotion, Too Many Kobolds, a game made by Nigalt. He gave me permission to make a board. The board's done. I'm going to be streaming that with friends at some point. We're going to do that at some point. Little FYI. It's actually it's on my Tabletop Simulator workshop page too, along with the Pokerole table. So if you want to play it yourself, it's there. Sorry, just wanted to promote that a little bit.
That's fine. Also, Ennio has the right of it. TTS is way too unoptimized to run on mobile.
Yeah,
not even on a tablet.
I never ever think TTS will be ever like, oh, we're going to do a mobile release. That's never going to happen.
No, I think it's effectively abandoned / perma maintenance mode at this point. fact, I don't think there's anything even TTS adjacent that I would say would function on a mobile device. Brooke has spent the whole day doing arena stuff. He's intended on relaxing at the hotel for the day. Got nothing else planned. At most, he might visit the group at the hospital.
That makes sense. He did most of his activities at this point already, so everybody else has other activities going on. He just wants to chill. No, Rob. No, it's fine.
No, you're fine.
I don't even hear anything.
Well, they're not speaking. But yeah. Also, for those who might be curious about Brooke's coat, because Brooke did not always have the coat, that was also a recent acquisition, and it may or may not be slightly cursed, question mark, and or upgradable?
Ralph is also cursed right now, right? Technically.
Yes. Ralph
Yes.
has... Everybody got something from Karserus' shop for dealing with the wizard that you all punched.
Yes.
Ralph grabbed a Gloomhunger pendant, and if Ralph decides to hover over its little token, it has all the little stats in there for it.
Yeah, it definitely gives some benefits.
It does. It also has drawbacks. Tucker got Strange Goo.
Which is a complete grab bag of an item. Roll d6 when I use it.
What is this? Oh, right. You guys are in, like, your 6 to 7 days.
Oh, right. You have a rare candy? I thought you ate a rare candy. Oh, you know, it is
If you-
consumed. Okay.
It has been consumed. It is there for a reason.
Therefore, like, referencing purposes, I suppose.
Yes.
Would say it's just the wrapper that remains
That's fair.
to make it more clear.
That's a reasonable way of looking at it.
So for now, we will set Perk aside because Perk is going to do relax things.
Okay.
So, players, would you rather do Ralph and Rida first or have a Tucker scene first?
I'd leave that up to whatever Charm would like.
I can go ahead with Tucker. Like I said, my voice is messed up, but it's not like it's going to get better if I wait, so it's like, it's fine. Actually, I think it's probably at its most stable right now, so I may as well go do a scene.
Yeah, that makes sense to me.
Okie dokie.
Okay. I just need a reminder, what was the last thing Tucker did? Was Tucker going to the arena, or did he actually get to the arena last time? I can't remember.
Tucker got to the arena and was entering it.
Okay. All right, then I think I can pick up from there. Tucker, while making sure to keep a side eye on the Chimchar, just in case they try to book it again or something, he does enter the arena. He looks around, and while still being a little bit mindful of not saying anything that spooks the Chimchar, blows his little lie, because Tucker is currently doing a bit of a fib to try to help his Chimchar out. Chaotic neutral, I suppose, or chaotic good in this case. I'm not sure, but Tucker will go up. Can he go up to the main table where the usual sorts are checking people and stuff? Is there a line?
Unfortunately, there are still lines, yes.
Okay.
You do, however, have your brooch that would have been given to you already.
True. Okay. Tucker will basically kind of pull out his brooch to kind of flash it if he needs to. And he will look around for anybody that looks like they might be in charge or know something, and just kind of reach out to whoever he can, just trying to ask about Brooke and if he's around the arena today.
Well, if you start asking before straying too far from the reception desk, the Machamp is going to look over their shoulders. Sorry, I have to giggle a little bit. That's a bad pun. They look over their shoulders.
All four of them.
Yes, all four of them. Little Pooch is looking for the Brook Man.
Tucker gives a hearty nod and says, "Yeah, I need to talk to him about some important stuff." Kind of keeping it vague, given the Chimchar around him.
Which, by the way, the arena owner has caused the Chimchar to jump because of the way they talk. And they're very quickly trying to shuffle behind Tucker, which really doesn't help because Chimchar is bipedal. They just left! Didn't look like they'd be coming back today!
Tucker kind of gives a bit of a frown at that and thinks for a second. Oh, dang, that's bad timing. He thinks for a moment, kind of tapping his tail to the ground as he thinks. Oh, is Jocelyn around still?
And they get their attention drawn away by someone impatiently dinging the bell on the reception desk. Maybe! Kind of! I don't know, kind of busy! And just shifts one arm back and makes a shooing motion to you.
Tucker kind of dips an ear, but kind of like nods, understanding that Machamp is indeed quite busy. His forearms is not enough for him to deal with all the stuff he has to deal with, so... Tucker gives a kind of half smile to the Chimchar. I think there's somebody else. I think the guy I was looking for isn't around, but his friend should be. He kind of says. So, and Tucker was already at the water arena area before, right? If I recall.
Yes, you actually did some practice with Joss.
Did some practice there, yeah. So Tucker's gonna lead the Chimchar to that area.
Okay.
Logical place to look.
Go ahead and give me a smart contest perform, if you would.
Sure.
Because you're trying to convince the Chimchar to follow you to someone else, since apparently Tucker's honest nature won through.
Oh, I'm not on my color. Whoops. Let me fix that.
I was wondering how long it would take to notice.
Sick.
Okay, I don't remember the Chimchar voice, so here we go.
He's a druggie. It might have changed.
I don't know. I'm trying.
Dude, you're not the one that has to worry about your voice right now.
I like voice accuracy for myself. Everyone else, it doesn't matter. I try to be voice accurate. But they do continue to follow you in the arena.
Actually, Tucker will make a note of one thing, though. He as he was keeping an eye on Chimchar, did he notice any reaction when he brought Jocelyn? Does the Chimchar know who that is?
You were looking at the Machamp and the Chimchar was behind you. You would have.
Oh,
would not
that's
have
true.
Noticed.
Okay. Fair enough. Basically, Tucker is hedging his bets that Jocelyn is not so famous that the Chimchar will know something's up.
I mean, Jocelyn is famous,
He
though.
is. That's the problem.
It's an interesting bet to hedge, I'll say that.
Yeah.
Right. But yes, the Chimchar does continue to follow you. They seem kind of uncertain about this, since apparently your quote-unquote guy is not here, but their friend might be able to help. But also, they really want more, so...
The rolls are good enough to keep him hooked. Tucker will scan the water arena when he enters to see if he can see Jocelyn.
Jocelyn is there, but he also has 4 other Pokemon there with him practicing.
Ah, in the middle of practice. That makes sense. Okay, then. All right. Tucker will motion to the Chimchar to just hang out to the side. This is a bit of a risk. He needs to break off for the Chimchar for a moment. So will the Chimchar be willing to wait, just loiter against one side of the area? And I could do a roll to convince him to just hang out for a second alone.
How long are you willing to wait?
Right?
How long do you intend to wait?
No, I'm not waiting. Tucker's just asking the Chimchar to wait so he can approach Jocelyn without being too sus about it.
Oh, okay. It sounded like you were the one who was going to wait off to the side.
No, he's asking the Chimchar to wait on him here on the outskirts of the arena while he goes in to talk to somebody, basically.
Okay. Give me another smart contest perform at -2.
Oh, okay. It's not my roll. For some reason, it wasn't clicking. Okay, let me try that again. That's my roll.
Again, they're increasingly leery, but they do shuffle off to the side. They fold their arms, but you can see that their hands are twitching.
Mm-hmm.
So they're becoming increasingly impatient.
Makes sense, especially given their nervous disposition due to the drugs. So Tucker does make it makes note of that and does have some amount of haste as he trots over to Jocelyn's section of the arena, sizing up what he is who he is trading with.
I'm gonna say it doesn't matter.
Okay.
Mostly for my own sanity.
DM efforts, my friends.
Well,
that's
I'm
fine,
not a
because
DM
Tucker's going to
will-
interrupt anyways.
I'm not a DM that will always go through the trouble of naming every NPC.
That's
They
fair.
exist. They are various Pokemon. That's it. There's too many Pokemon for me to keep track of anyway.
Well, Tucker would normally wait for their little match to end, but given the circumstances, he's going to go ahead and shout out, "Hey, Jocelyn, do you mind if I could have a second?"
Oh, I knew that. And Jocelyn sort of does the waddly, awkward turnaround. Oh, it's Brooks' friend. Take 5, everyone. I'll be back shortly. He waits for them to depart. Moves up to Tucker. And how might I help you, little pooch?
Tucker does a little grin and then kind of instinctually folds his ear a little bit. "Well, I got a bit of a problem, actually. It seems like Brooke's not here. I was coming to find Brooke about it, but, any croc will do. That I trust, at least."
They raise an eyelid slowly.
Tucker actually leans in a little bit and gets a more serious face as he gets a hushed tone and expresses, I got a drug addict following me. And he says it in a really oh no, it's like, oh, this is terrible. As a kid would.
He know what? Events 1, number 59 is pretty fitting for this particular moment.
Okay. $159?
Yep. Tiny mystery.
Oh, I remember that one. Too bad the tablet doesn't remember. Hold on a second.
It's
doing that not loading thing.
Jocelyn is going to rub their chin as they regard Tucker. They have to, like... They try to lean in at first and realize that's not going to work. And then they try crouching down a bit more, and then they just settle for sitting on the sand briefly. Well, Tucker is small by comparison.
Oh, he is. Is Jocelyn bigger than Brooke? I can't remember.
I feel like they were similar.
Around similar, yeah. There we go. That's a good choice, actually.
Similar, or one of them being slightly bigger. Comparable.
Really? Are you in need of a little help? I mean, you came to the right place. I am a champion after all.
Tucker does a little nod, and he kind of explains the story. Yeah, I was just minding my own business, exploring town, and well, this really weird Chimchar came up to me, and he needed some money, so I figured I'd help out. But then I realized, oh, maybe I'm being ripped off. And sometimes people do that. So I followed him, and he bought some weird thing. And
so
then...
he's gonna interrupt you there. And I'm sorry, I know you're on a roll.
No, that's actually kind of how it goes. That's where I was going to stop.
Jocelyn interrupts you, and he sort of punches his fist into his other hand.
Oh, I see what's going on here. I spot them by the wall, I have. Good that you came to me. I've got that type advantage.
And he starts to stand up from the sand.
Tucker kind of goes, well, he seems in pretty bad shape. I was thinking about maybe trying to knock him out, but I'd worried I'd hurt him. I just want to get him to a hospital, honestly. But I don't know if I could restrain him for that or anything. That's why I figured I'd get help.
Jocelyn is maybe 2.5 steps away from you when you get finished. And then he turns back to you. Oh. Shifts his eyes back and forth.
Right. Clearly, that is what you meant. Certainly.
Tucker does a little toothy little half smile and goes like, not saying that the type of edge won't help convince him, though.
No. It's fine, really. No, I've got a plan. Everyone thinks Jocelyn isn't clever, but I always have a plan.
He's pointing one finger to the sky and is grinning.
Tucker looks a little more wide-eyed, like, ooh, what's the plan?
He puts his hands behind his back and starts walking towards the Chimchar, who looks increasingly nervous that this large water type is coming towards them.
Tucker just kind of match the pace and also just kind of casually walk back to the Chimchar.
Hang on, I gotta check his stats. Jocelyn's not poor Chimchar. Poor Chimchar doesn't have stats proper. Of course, they're only the fight stats. Those would have changed by now.
Oh no, people are commenting on my tipped on Tucker right now.
Sorry, I started it.
No, honestly,
think you're doing excellently.
I don't know how I'll have to hear it back later. I don't know how it sounds, but I'm glad it works.
Please restroom right quick.
Sounds like a nerdier Tucker. So Tucker with like glasses on and having some school books. Now I'm picturing
Jocelyn.
like a Demi Puccina school situation, like just nerd with books.
All right. Jocelyn puts on this very serious looking face that you don't think you've ever seen Jocelyn have before. He actually looks like he could be intimidating. Not quite as scary necessarily as Brooke, but, you know, Brooke's had a lot more practice. His eyes get this sharp look to them, all halfway narrowed.
I hear you're in town looking for ingestibles.
Yeah, in just a what? He lets his shoulders sag, rolling his eyes.
You know, the things you put in your mouth.
Yeah. You know about the candy guy?
I am. In fact, I can show you how I make it here.
Here? Like, right here? Chimchar gets this kind of disturbing half smile on their face, showing their desperation.
We're not right here. After all, we'd get in a lot of trouble.
Jocelyn is leaned in real close. Kind of uncomfortably and intimidatingly close. All the while, Tucker nodding along to Jocelyn's words, perhaps being a little too dramatic, but he's playing.
Like Jocelyn saying, like, yeah, I'm the Candyman, and Tucker's like, yep, he is. He's the guy.
Well, come with me, little friend. I know how to fix you up. And don't worry about anyone in the halls. I'm a champion. They'll trust me.
The Chimchar slowly nods, and Jocelyn begins to walk back into the arena. And the Chimchar
Okay,
looks
man.
between the two of you, and then begins to follow Jocelyn.
I can imagine when Chimchar looks between towards Tucker before walking off. Tucker just gives this exaggeratedly toothy smile that looks a little bit sus because he's trying a little too hard with it, and he has, after all, Puccina, so he's got a lot of teeth.
In fact, give me a cool contest perform at a -4.
Sure. Worth
You've
the-
been keeping
worth-
up this charade for a while.
Okay, there we go. Hell, yeah, that's good.
Last time the dice were not in anyone's favor. Now the dice giveth.
See, I feel like
the
even though
dice
Tucker
favored
is
Tuck
convincing of this
last
stuff, Tucker is not a super devious person. So even if he succeeds, I'm sure that some people would not be fooled even so watching if they were bystanding the situation because he's a little too exaggerated about it. He's not
You're
exactly
lucky.
a pathological liar.
Which is a good thing.
Yeah, it is. See, the thing is, I do play his nature. It's just that sometimes he tries to do things outside of his nature. He's just not as good as it.
Yeah, well, the dice seem to say otherwise right now. Question is, do you follow them?
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Tucker will go behind the Chimchar just to make sure he doesn't, like, book it. Though he has absolutely no idea where they're going.
Gosh, this is the perfect song for this. I was looking for something for Jocelyn, and then I came across that. Well, Jocelyn leads Tucker and the Chimchar into the arena halls. Now, I need someone who isn't me or Tucker to roll a doom die, please.
Well, Ryder's standing right next to it.
It doesn't matter who. Somebody roll that die.
Looks like Ryder personally rolled that.
Alrighty. You pass by a few Pokemon, some of whom are gladiators, others who seem to be visiting or with them. But no one who stops you. Jocelyn provides friendly smiles and waves, of course, when prompted. And then he leads you into one of the medical rooms.
Ah,
And inside are an Audino and a Venomoth.
Venomoth.
Here-
That's an interesting choice.
Beerus is going to be so happy there's a moth. Jocelyn motions for you and the Chimchar to wait by the door. And then he goes over to have a conversation with the Audino.
Fair enough. Tucker waits.
I sure hope this doesn't lead to any rumors about Jocelyn being a candy man while Deadeye is looking. Oh! Oh no! Who could have predicted?
Oh no.
Oh no, it's almost like the Duke Die has purpose.
Battle between champions based on a misconstrued. Oh no.
Wouldn't even be a battle.
Deadeye would not. Deadeye would not lose that one probably. Jocelyn may be cool and all, but
Jocelyn can't win against Deadeye.
Not a chance.
Sorry, it's just not possible. Jocelyn's too slow. In any case, it takes a few minutes. But then the Audino leaves, a bit confused looking. And then Jocelyn comes back, motions the two of you inside, and shuts the door.
Right then. I made sure my acquaintance here knows exactly what to do. Go ahead and sit where you like, little friend.
Alrighty. The Chimchar feels a little skittish at the door shutting. They jump just a little bit, but nervously nod and move over to one of the examination tables. You know the ones where you get a checkup.
yeah, you said on them.
And they sit, using a little step stool because it has to be taller for bigger Pokemon.
Right then. Dr. Venomoth, if you wouldn't mind.
And he's got his hands behind his back, and he is giving a very emphatic snaggletooth smile to the Venomoth. The Venomoth, for their part, looks very briefly bewildered, which is kind of hard to do as a Venomoth, because whenever you see a Venomoth, they don't really have eyelids.
They have like one expression, yeah. Body language, I suppose.
But they flutter over. And the Chimchar is starting to get real confused because they're expecting to have candy. And the Venomoth uses sleep powder
Ah.
Saw that coming.
from a mile away. However, Jocelyn does clamp a hand over Tucker's muzzle. And then one over his own. Because the sleep powder starts to fill the room as the Chimchar very briefly does that monkey screech that monkeys do, and there's a loud thud as they try to push themselves off the table and flee and just
Oh no.
collapse.
Also, it's probably very smart. I don't think Tucker immediately expected that to happen, so the muzzle clamp was probably smart of Jocelyn to do. Tucker seems a little surprised by it first, but goes along with it. He understands what's going on.
By the way, I must telegraph things from a mile away because the audience calls stuff so frequently. It's kind of great. However, eventually, Jocelyn removes the hand from his snout and opens the door so it can air out some of the sleep powder. And he rushes out, gasping for air.
Oh, I overestimated my lung capacity.
Tucker does
Did
the
you really
same.
have to fill the whole room?
Well, it was a little bit unorthodox and sudden. I'm usually here to help calm down violent patients. Not to do whatever this was.
He waves his hands in front of his face.
Well, yeah. But I'm glad that didn't work on me. Tucker, are you still awake?
Tucker is kind of coughing a little bit himself, having left the room as well.
So Tucker, I do need you to make
Let's see.
one small roll.
Let's see.
Roll insight for me. Because that's the resist roll for sleep, so we're gonna have you roll insight. Oh boy. You feel a little drowsy, but you're still up.
Tucker responds with a few little bits of coughing and I'm okay. He sounds a little bad though. And my nose is asleep now. He can't feel anything in his nose.
Not like Venomoth is used for anything else. I find that to be mildly offensive. Venomoth is cool.
Also, in a medical context, having poison types around makes a lot of sense, honestly. Not just because of like things like sleep powder, though. I just think like medicine is a poison in itself, so I feel like poison types would have value in the medical field.
Every medicine can be a poison. But yeah.
Well, next time a little heads up would be nice.
It's not exactly something that we had planned for.
Thank you very much. I did want to get him to the hospital without knocking him out too hard, so this works.
Yes, that's what Champion Jocelyn told me. Are you sure this is the right thing to do?
Well, what's your idea then?
Call the authorities?
Well, can't we do that when we get them to the hospital?
There's only one hospital available. And it's mostly full.
Well, how do you know that?
The Venomoth stares.
They also work there, probably.
Oh. Well, then what are we supposed to do? Look at him.
I can see that. Can you please get Dr. Aldino in here? They're the one who can actually use things. I don't have hands.
You got little wiggly legs.
Again, the Venomoth stares at Jocelyn. Jocelyn throws up his hands.
Fine, I'll go get Nurse Adino.
Dr. Adino.
Dr. Adino! Just trying to do something nice and good. I could have just blasted it with a water gun, but no, I had to make the good guy.
As he just walks out, going to grab the Adino.
Thank you too, Jocelyn. He kind of says to kind of simmer things down. Tucker just expresses.
Jocelyn does return with the Adino at some point and explains the situation better to them. seeing as how they probably only gave a half explanation in needing some time with Assistant Dr. Venomoth. I've already forgotten what title I gave them. I'm a great storyteller, aren't I?
You're fine.
You're amazing.
The Adino begins bandaging up the Chimchar's wounds and applying things like disinfectant, but they do make it clear that they don't have supplies here to deal with drug-related problems. The arena does not generally need to worry about detoxing in this manner. They have antidotes for poison, but this isn't exactly poison. Not in that sense.
Tucker has the sense to pipe up and ask, is this sort of thing common at all in the city? This is the first time I knew this sort of thing was happening.
So all three adults in the room share a look. And then they look back at Tucker like he is this sweet, innocent bean of a child.
What?
It's not that it's necessarily common, but, you know, it's a thing. I mean, you've heard of rare candies, right? Technically.
I don't know if those could be categorized as a drug in the same way, but you weren't wrong.
Tucker contemplates for a second. I remember some things. Really potent medicines and such that could help Pokemon. I guess it could also hurt them, though, if used wrong. But that's not this, is it?
Correct. You aren't wrong. Every medicine has the potential to be a poison. It's part of why I'm here. But things like this are... how to put it? Have you been hit by poison moves before?
I think Tucker has, right? If I recall, he has suffered some of that before.
I think the whole team has at
Yeah.
one point or another.
Tucker flops his ears. Yeah. I mean, they were in a really bad swamp at one point, too, so... Yeah, I've dealt with poison before. It's not fun.
When you're poisoned in that way, it's an active detriment to your health. It weakens you in a specific manner. Sometimes you become paralyzed. Other times it'll faint you. But Pokemon physiology is built so that it can fight off that poison after a relatively short period of time, in most circumstances. It's a weaker poison. Stronger things like toxic require treatment, where they can be deadly. This is... The best description I can give it to you is like a slow version of toxic. Every time they take the drug, it does a little more damage that isn't healed. And because of its nature, they want more of it. Yadino pipes up. That's called an addiction. And a lot of drugs are very addictive by design. Since we don't know exactly what they've been eating, we can't exactly counter it. But the hospital would have the equipment for it.
Am I free to go now? I'm not exactly smart about these things.
Oh,
What are you talking about? You're the one who's going to be carrying the Chimchar to the hospital.
Why me? You have stretchers.
Are you seriously going to make a child carry a sleep-powdered druggie to the hospital?
Both the Venomoth and the Adino stare at Jawson.
Well, no. Lie or kill me.
Tucker kind of does a little bit of puppy dog eyes.
I mean, I definitely could use your help, especially he could wake up early or something before I get to the hospital. And that might be a bit rough, so I could use your help.
Well, fine. Fine. Guess. You know I'm going to have to walk out there and everyone's going to see me, right?
We'll make sure everybody knows you actually did a good thing. Alright, Mr. Champion?
Thank you. Although I don't really need praise, I just need people to know that I'm not doing bad stuff, mostly. I already get enough flack for going to Karserus' shop.
Oh, but you're such a nice truck. I don't know why I'd be bad of you.
Being an adult is complicated, Tucker.
I've noticed that sometimes.
He's also a qualified pioneer and a gladiator, but we can lean on the child aspect a bit too, and to get what we want. Yep. People forget that Tucker is still technically a kid. So
Think of the children. Adina, don't want to get a Maldina model as well. Well, one, I thought you'd appreciate the moth, and two, I forget what gender Adina was. Oh, wait, it's 5. Okay.
they're not going to be here much longer, so you
That's
don't need
fair.
to...
I'll put them in a bag in case they show up at the arena again later. There's a mild reason to do so.
So is there anything
See, my
else?
strat.
Go ahead.
No, I was just gonna say my strat when it comes to models is to get them out before the session, so I just have them in a specific bag to pull from during the session instead of looking through a bunch of them to find the model I need.
That's
Yeah,
a good
but
call, but we generally make Pokemon on the fly.
Yes, that's the one problem.
Mm-hmm.
That's what the Pokedex is there for.
Look at Aldino. Aldino right after a major surgery.
Was there anything else you needed, Jocelyn?
Can I get a bag of sleep powder?
Why would you need a bag of sleep powder?
In case they wake up.
They're not going to wake up. I filled the room.
I noticed.
You get the feeling they're having a minor staring contest. Not that Jocelyn would be able to win.
Then an off-staring contest. I'm not sure about that one, yeah. Well, Tucker will pipe up after a moment and say,
Well, thank you for your time. I really appreciate your medical professional help with this situation. We can get going now, Jocelyn.
Fine.
Squints at the Venomoth, blinks,
This isn't over.
scoops up the Chimchar, and begins walking out. The Adino looks to Venomoth. What is an over? Oh, nothing. They thought I could blink. Remember, kids, when confronted by drugs, find an adult. Jocelyn, technically correct.
I believe I canonically stay at Tucker's original human age is 10. Though I also always made it clear that when it came to transformation, I feel like that can affect like ages of bodies and stuff, so like it can get kind of confusing at that point.
Also, a lot of time has passed.
That too.
Yeah, while we were in stasis, we might have aged. Plus, that since we began our journey, it's been a minute.
It has been a minute. I really am not great at making time pass. Technically, it probably should have been more, but whatever.
So Tucker's aware of drugs. Just to explain something, by the way, because it may have been a little unclear here. Tucker's completely aware of drugs. That's why he knew the Chimchar was on something. But what was surprising to him, at least from the vague memories he had of humanity, there wasn't really a Pokemon drug problem. There was a human drug problem in the old world he used to be in. A Pokemon drug problem, that's a new concept to him.
Tucker obviously had never heard of people roiding up their Pokemon for the league.
He probably hadn't actually.
Vitamins.
No, he probably hadn't heard of more dodgy or illicit Pokemon trainer activities because he was a part of that. He was on a ranch. He was basically a Pokemon breeder kid. So
Right. Oh, we're gonna leave Tucker, Jocelyn, and the Chimchar for now.
I do have one last question though before leaving the scene. Since Tucker will at some point, if not in the earlier conversation or while they're walking, explain how the Chimchar ran to a dodgy guy, and that's... I don't remember, was it a Wobbuffet that Chimchar interacted with, or was it a...
Yes, it was a Wobbuffet.
It was a Wobbuffet, and they seem pretty shady and stuff. He's probably going to bring that up to Jocelyn. Just idly. And be like, I wonder who those guys are. I wonder who that guy was.
Jocelyn... unfortunately has no idea who that is, but he has seen a lot of Wobbuffet around lately. But, you know, this place has a lot of blue Pokemon.
True. Tucker will remember the Wobbuffet. I mean, he's not going to, like, profile every Wobbuffet he sees, but he will remember that.
Well, remember, the Wobbuffet was dressed rather specifically.
Yeah, he will profile anybody. A well-dressed Wobbuffet will be something he'll pay attention to if he sees it again.
Alright, time to swap. What tune was I using?
Also, I'm very, very happy with your tune pick. It's nice to finally get it. It was nice to finally get a use out of that Tiger Woods remix.
I think, Hydra, you were going to say something?
Oh, you were asking what music. I think it was 44. If I'm thinking of the one you are.
Oh, yes.
144 or something?
Yeah, 144.
144? Okay. I will switch it to that.
Because repurposing it for the jazzy goodness.
Oh, yes.
I have good memory.
Because you guys are
Yes,
still
you
at the... Wait. You guys are at the club... Wait, no. That's right. We're using it for the general situation. Yes. It was originally used at the club.
General Mafia stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah. It was originally for the club, which fit really well, and now we're just using it for the Mafia stuff because it's that good.
I mean, it's a good melody, honestly. I could see it as a leitmotif for, like, a evil team theme.
So, Ralph, you are current.
All right.
Yeah, finally back to R&R. I'll get to that message in a second. Ralph, you are at a table specifically for two in the pasta restaurant. And as I recall, most of the other tables are occupied by Wobbuffet at the moment. And it appears that there may be a back room or a private room of some description. You looked out the window to look for Rida, and you do not see them. Because last I checked, Rida was still kind of out back behind the store.
Indeed.
Restaurant. Gosh. What is wrong with me?
Let's see. Part of me wants to just keep pushing.
You did order something. I don't remember what. It was probably just spaghetti?
Yeah, probably just some spaghetti.
Ralph had said something sly to, bring up the password, but it could be a double entendre of it's not really the password if it fails.
Yeah. Well, I haven't yet. I picked how I could do that. I could just ask for an extra napkin. Since if we're going with the running gag, the password is napkin. Let's see here.
If you're gonna try...
Did we ever establish if Rida can read minds?
Well, As far as I know, that's never been something that's come up.
Yeah.
So I wonder if
maybe.
I'm gonna try it. I'm gonna try and send out a signal to Rita, like reach out mentally, see if we can get a psychic wavelength going. Be funny if I got the wrong channel though.
Sir, this is
All right.
Wendy's for psychic types.
Sure, give me an insight contest channel.
Yeah. Alright. I'll be like, where's insight over here? Yeah, I'll try and reach out with something like, this is Ralph. Do you hear me? Wait, insight contest channel, you said?
Yes, insight contest channel.
Alright.
Find it funny if some random patron just started looking around so confused because they heard Ralph.
All right. You do manage to catch onto Rita's psychic signature as you sort of reach out, but you aren't quite sending words at the moment. It's like, what were you intending to say?
Gonna say that, basically send that I was gonna try and go in, like, that I was gonna continue my investigation, more or less.
Okay.
But I guess I only get, like, static.
Not static, but you do send to Rita, who will be able to receive this, by the way. You are able to send to Rita that you are going to be trying to make progress. The feeling of you are in and trying to make progress, even if there are no words expressed. Because this is new for you.
The milk is in the cake batter. Repeat, the milk is in the cake batter.
I am the milkman.
Oh gosh. I guess I still gotta work on that trick.
Idea.
Yeah, I'm mutter like, I guess I still gotta work on that trick. Being that I have a little bit of a new mystery as to why there is a plate of noodle, sauce, and meat in front of me that I don't want to eat. But that's a mystery for another time. I'm gonna decide to try and flag down the mime time guy. It was not mime time. Mr. Rhyme.
Mr. Rhyme.
Yeah.
I totally forgot that the concierge was Mr. Mime. Mr. Rhyme. Crap, were they silent? I don't remember.
Yeah, they had a chalkboard.
Oh, right, they had a chalkboard.
And
It
they
wasn't
were
like the
apparently super naturally fast at writing on it.
Man, I forgot about the Furfrou. I forgot about the Mr. Rhyme.
It's okay. It's been a while.
I know it has.
Details.
But still.
Hold up a finger. And...
Go on.
Yeah, I'm hold up like a finger, like I'm gesturing for a waiter. Try my best to look like I am not super uncouth.
The posh motions, yes.
Yeah.
Garçon.
When in doubt, tinky out.
Yes. Which, by the way, Ralph, the rest of the dish doesn't really repulse you. It's just the meatballs. which is sad because they are the big dinner Italian meatballs.
Yeah, so eat it all and put that in the back of my head. The mystery of why don't I want to eat this amazing, delicious looking food? Why doesn't it look delicious? I know factually that it is. Why isn't it?
You probably tried some like it in the past.
And that must be really frustrating, just being like, I don't like this all of a sudden. What the hell is going on?
So, the Mr. Rhyme approaches you and scribbles on their chalkboard, effectively, oui, monsieur. Wait, that's French.
You're speaking French.
Oh man, I went from Italian to French. No!
I really love me some French Italian cooking, really. Spaghetti on crepes and all
everyone.
that.
I'm getting into the groove. It was so good before.
Spaghetti crepes! I want to see them.
No, please, God, no. Right, getting back on track and away from my blunders, they do ask how they may assist you.
I will, slyly as I can, I'll take a look at the door he got the chair from and be like, yeah, I think I need an extra napkin, if you catch my drift. Adjust my hat like I'm important.
They
a little tie tighten.
They sweep their hand across the board as they flip it and scribble down. These seats are not to your liking?
I approach without blowing my cover and acting like I know what I'm talking about.
Sounds like you might need some sort of smart roll.
Full send it, Ralph. Full send it.
So you're trying to get them to change your table to one in the back.
Let's see, okay, I've got it about pretending I'm a big shot. Adjust my tie a little bit, like, yeah, I'm one of your most special customers, so, I'm using an accent for another character. Yeah, I'm one of your most, special customers, so, just do it, okay?
Give me a tough contest intimidate.
Alright, this actually is a really good
It really is. Also, my goodness, your strength with belly drum is ludicrous. I keep forgetting.
Yeah, I keep forgetting he has that active still.
Brains and brawn. The best of everything. Oh my goodness.
Oh, that is... I really want this roll to be good, so I'm gonna use one of my hats on that.
That's an excellent plan. And you'll have to give me a second while you're rolling that.
Since you have multiple uses, I'd say always use the first use the moment you could use it. Okay, well at least it doubled.
That chart comes to mind, like how intimidating you are according to stats. For Riley, it was like Glaf. And for Ralph, good demon.
Okay, that's much better. Let's see if the bare minimal status.
Meet the pizza.
Okay. So, in response to this, Mr. Rhyme gives Ralph what seems to be a very nonplussed expression and scribbles out, "All of our customers are special. But," and they flip the board over, "if you are inquiring about our special tables," flips again, "I might be so inclined." And then they hold out a hand.
Alrighty. I shall take their hand, hopefully not into a trap.
You reach to take their hand, they look down at your hand, and then up at you, and they look very, very unamused.
We'll give him a handshake like it was on purpose.
They raise an eyebrow. Complete the handshake. Take their hand away. And then they write, "You may pay for the table, or you may continue to sit here."
Yes. Of course. The usual fee, I assume?
They nod and hold their hand out again. They don't tell you what that fee is.
Oh no. I've been noticing that while Tubby has all the money, he's been also being put into situations to spend it a lot.
Let's see.
So now you have to guess.
Open, mind you.
So the thing is, Tubby's route keeps taking him into situations where it's like, oh yeah, spending money fixes this problem.
It's such a wonderful shortcut. Just like in real life.
I mean, it's better than having to fight a restaurant full of Wobbuffet.
Yeah. Besides, I recently got a bonus check from the pasta wig. Alright, I know how to handle this like I'm not stupid. I'm gonna give him this full stack here. And I'm gonna be like, keep the change, big guy. I hope I didn't undershoot it.
Their eyes go wide, and they close their hand around the money and quickly pocket it before you can take it back.
Me wondering how much I overshot it.
Oh, I need to be promoted.
You do. I was trying to promote you earlier, but you could join the table right away, so I just kind of forgot.
Mostly because of the wiki taking a in. Not that it stops TTS from doing the exact same thing, but, you know. Less strain is better. Because every game nowadays makes laptops act like they're jet engines.
Yeah.
Just dumb.
Laptop gaming is not becoming... games are getting too advanced for laptop gaming to really work out, unless your laptop is insane.
Yep.
Yeah, make your laptop double as a space heater.
Okay.
Hey, I mean, it works for me. At least in winter. Summer, not so much. But, I digress. The Mr. Rhyme does a bow, and they'll gesture to your plate. I'm assuming you've already eaten everything? Except the meatballs?
Most likely, except the meatballs.
They gesture to your plate, and then hold up the chalkboard, and it says, "Would you like those packaged for later?"
Yeah, thank you. But, I would like one more, just, sans the meatballs this time.
Oh.
They taste off today.
The Mr. Rhyme gestures with their hand to their chest, looking mortified. And writes out our sincerest apologies in very expressive letters, and gestures for you to follow them.
And that's it.
Sorry, Tucker, and or anyone else that wanted the fancy meatballs. It's okay.
I mean, listen, just meatball plus dog equals obvious equals obvious math problem.
Nope.
Toss them, make you jump, like toss them up above you, see if you can jump and catch them.
By the way, every Italian that watches this episode probably just had a heart attack hearing this happen.
But disclaimer though, do not feed your dog meatballs unless you know exactly what was seasoned in them, because there are some seasonings that are not good for dogs. However, if they are seasoned properly, it's not really that bad. You can give them as a treat.
Yeah, just be very, very careful about it.
Yeah, things like onions and garlic. Common things for... You can make meatballs without those ingredients that hurt dogs, though.
Yeah, you can. It's just you have to be careful, especially with store-bought stuff.
Yeah.
But Ralph, you get taken past a red velvet curtain into a more dimly lit, atmospheric back room. There's a lot less space back here. The hallway that the Mr. Rhyme leads you down is very narrow compared to, well, you. Occasionally your shoulders will brush up against things that are hanging on the walls, and if you look, you notice that they appear to be various Pokemon, like pictures or paintings of various Pokemon in fancy suits. Or in the case of those of a more feminine persuasion, in very nice dresses.
Very nice, very nice. Among the paintings, do I see a painting of our Whooper friend?
You don't, but you do see another familiar face. Two, in fact. One painting is the Persian that served you at the bar. The other is the Roserade. Philia.
Interesting, interesting. Noted, noted. Ah. So, these paintings, these are all the, biggest, honchos that come, eat here?
They pause a moment as you reach another door and scribble out, "They are our most esteemed and generous patrons." I'm afraid to try an Italian accent because I think I'm going to just accidentally slip into speaking what few French words I know. Because I don't know any Italian.
Huh. I know a few esteemed guys myself. Mr. Gabe comes to mind, but that's neither here nor there. Proceed.
Did you say Mr. Gabe?
Yes, I was making a joke. Steam.
It's a steam pun.
I know, I just wanted to make sure I wasn't hearing things. I'm sorry, I ruined the joke.
So, just real fast, is Ralph trying to get into the back rooms, basically?
Yes.
Yeah, okay.
Not those back rooms, by the way, audience.
We already were.
Ralph in the back. Ralph glitching in the back rooms. I can only imagine his reaction to that.
Yeah. When did that happen to us? I want to say Halloween 2021?
Oh, really?
Or 2022? Yeah, I remember the Esper. We were zapped
Well,
from the Snow
That's
Village
true.
into the back
That's true.
rooms.
That was effectively the back rooms. Good point.
Yes. I mean, you also did it in the library, kind of, but it wasn't
Kinda.
really the back rooms, it was a mindscape. I digress. The door is opened, and you are led into a smaller dining area where the tables are separated by these really nice wooden partitions, and everything is lit via lit wick. Every candle in the room is a lit wick. And some of them have these really nice atmospheric orange flames on them. Others have their natural purple flame, generally in the corners of the room. And some have a very cold blue flame. And they seem to be at empty tables.
But this is not spoken out loud. This is more thought, like, I bet that's the job to have if you're a Litwick.
And every Litwick has a little bow tie.
That's amazing.
They would have a miniature tie, but it would be too low. So you're just paid to sit here all day. Yeah, nice gig. You get to sleep all the time. Fortunately, don't mind us reading, as long as we don't set the books on fire.
It just exists with the correct colored flame.
Oh, I'm sure they do other things, but you wouldn't be privy to that. Ralph, there is only one table that is lit with an orange flame at the moment. And you pass by it as Mr. Ryan takes you to one of the corner tables where there's a bit more space for someone of your bulk.
Nice. I get a look at what Pokemon are at the lit table at the moment?
Yes, I was going to do that in just a second.
Sweet.
But when you do reach the table, the Litwick changes their flame from blue to orange. But the table you do pass has the Wooper.
Oh, nice.
They are flanked by a pair of Wobbuffet guards and appear to be eating with another Pokemon.
Yeah. Try and send out
The
this
big
psychic.
boss.
Try and send out the psychic symbol that I found him.
Oh, if this is the big boss, I wasn't expecting that. I thought we were gonna have to interrogate the Wooper. Air quotes, interrogate.
So who's at the table right now?
The
Wooper, have
Wooper,
you...
two Wobbuffet guards, and one other Pokemon I have not named yet. It is not the big boss, unfortunately for you.
And the Wooper, it would be the...
Two lobsters.
Oh, the end one, right?
Yep, I just pulled it out.
Ah, yes. Oh, there he is. He's hiding. He's camouflaged.
I'm looking through the Pokemon we already have.
That's fair. Should we change song for well, if it's not the big boss, maybe not.
You can pick something that's a little more moody given the atmosphere of the place. If you
It's
like.
kind of a very, I mean, it seems like a kind of darker place, so. Yeah. Alright, give me a second, everybody. I'll pick on a song.
Oh, yes. It's another familiar face.
Not that one.
Yeah.
A Zoroark.
Could you test this one for me, Car, real fast? Events 133, is that a good one?
That works.
Okay. Figured that would work.
Where's the Wobbuffets?
I was pulled away for just a second.
Okay, we're still set now.
Okay.
No worries.
Oh. Oh my goodness, TTS is chugging.
Oh, here, hold on. I have an idea.
Oh, you're at all nines, Charm. That would be why. Oh goodness.
Oh, I am?
Or
Oh, I dropped some frames.
what the heck?
Am I still here?
Yeah, you're fine. I don't know what the heck happened.
No. I dropped frames. I dropped some frames on XSplit on the
A
stream.
bit of an internet glitch, I guess.
I think it just hiccuped a little bit over here. Streamgoers, all good? I think my internet just had a very brief hiccup, and then it's fine now.
Also, Ralph, so you're sending a symbol like, say, a target or what have you to Ryda?
1200 frames isn't that bad. That's like 600 when I was running 30 FPS, so that would be like 2 seconds of footage, I think. Or is that like 1 second? No, it's like 1 second. No, wait. Yeah, it's 2 seconds. Because it's 60 times 100 times 2.
Okay. And I know Ralph was sending a symbol or a signal of some kind to Ryda.
Or if you're still having trouble with TTS, I could put some models away.
I think we'll be fine. It was just a sudden random spike, so I was like, wait, what's going on? And then I saw you were all 9s, which concerned me greatly.
Ah, yeah, it was just a hiccup. It's all good now, then. Also interesting, Zorak, I'm going to fix your face, buddy.
Are you there, Tubby?
Tubby.
Hello.
Might have got pulled away.
That's fair. We did say we were still setting up, so maybe you stepped away for a drink.
That's fine. He will probably alert us when he's back. Unless he's been muted for some reason. In which case, I apologize.
I will check. Oh, you're plastic. That explains it. Wait, no, that doesn't explain it. Why is Zoroark so utterly shiny? Okay, well, interesting. Extra
No idea.
shiny.
So Ryda, while Ralph is getting himself into the back room, what are you doing outside?
Yeah, what's up with Ryda?
So, just because I was curious, I don't think I'm actually going to do this, but would Ryder be able to use Magical Leaf on the Clawitzer because it's a never miss move?
I like the idea.
I just thought of it. I don't think I'm going to. I just want to know, like, in theory, would that work?
Theoretically, a never miss move would work. Theoretically.
Okay. I'm not going to do it. That was just something that came to mind. I was like, huh.
I like the idea. I'm just not sure if it would work. It's one of those things where that sounds like a really neat idea to either snipe or anti-snipe. But would that work right now? Because you don't know their location.
Yeah, definitely an interesting thought.
If I vaguely recall from the last session, at this current time, it's hard to tell if they're even still around or not.
Ryda is aware that they are around, and they did use scrying, and they know that the Klowitzer can see them. But Ryda cannot see them back.
It doesn't seem that Ryda is interested in going indoors and causing probably a scene as such, I suppose.
It's funny you say that.
Well, before you do anything, the other thing that comes to mind is using Magical Leaf. It would take you a while to know if there were any results. Because it's not like, say, bullet seed or water gun where the projectile is exceptionally fast.
This is more like throwing the homing briefcase in Hitman 3 at the jet ski guy. You gotta wait a bit.
I mean, I was going to say more like throwing knives, but close enough.
If you don't know about the homing briefcase, you don't know what I mean, but it takes a while for it to land.
But yeah, no, I'm not going to do that. Instead, what Ryder is actually going to do is sort of collect himself, because last time it was not thinking straight. And they're just going to stand upright and sort of dust themselves off and casually walk out of the alleyway towards the front of the building, while also having teleport ready if they need to dodge a bullet. So they're just going to act like nothing happened, essentially.
Huh. I mean, if you're getting targeted and there's nothing you can really do about it, I guess the best move is to not play, as in do say nonchalant. Huh. It's very inverse roles.
I don't know if this is good or bad. I'm hoping good.
I'm not sure what we're aiming for here. If we're... I'm not sure. Phone call.
No worries, Tubby.
Quite
We're
extreme.
catching up with Ryda.
Whatever the Doom is doing is probably going to be an extreme result.
So, Ryda, you walk out into the open onto the street in front of the restaurant. There is no shot fired.
Just as I predicted. They don't want to cause a scene.
They don't want to cause... Well, that is true, possibly, yeah.
Any number of reasons that might not happen.
Mm-hmm. But with that, Ryda will casually walk in to the restaurant.
You walk in. You don't see Ralph. Rather, you see a bunch of Wobbuffet. And a few other Pokemon, but mostly Wobbuffet.
Ryda will look around for someone who looks like they work there and isn't a Wobbuffet, and sort of try and flag them down.
Is Tubby back yet?
Good question. I think he was just in the middle of the phone call letting us know he had a phone call.
Okay. You don't see anyone who appears to be the main host or hostess, but you are able to flag down one of the waiters. This poor little Charmander, because other Pokemon fail to come to mind, who has been running around carrying a tray over their head. The little waiter's outfit.
I suppose Ryda will approach them and just simply ask, "Pardon me, but I am in search for my companion. Have you seen a large Snorlax walk in here?"
Oh, that guy. The one who said our meatballs are off today. They went to the back with Mr. Rhyme.
They look between Ryda and the red velvet curtain. I said, was it velvet or satin? Shoot.
Those are different materials? I didn't know that, actually.
Yes.
I thought it was the same day for 2 days for one thing. All right, never mind then.
Thank you, Fair. Velvet. They look between Ryda and the red velvet curtain.
I'm not exactly allowed to go back there. Give me...
Hey, waiter! We're still waiting on waters over here. More waters.
Just a moment, sir. I'm sure it's fine. Just head on back. Just please be quiet about it.
And they
Very well.
begin trotting off to go serve the Wobbuffets.
More waters, extra wine.
Ryder will proceed to the back and just casually walk down the hall.
You too get a chance to see the paintings and pictures of various other Pokemon in fancy outfits, including the bartender of Sandbar Blue and Philia.
Ryder pauses at that one for a moment, just sort of studying it, and then proceeds to walk forward.
What's that painting?
The painting of Philia, I would assume.
Oh.
Yes.
Philia is dressed in a songstress's dress. You know, the one from the 1900s. Speakeasies and things like that. The cabaret clubs. For those who don't know what I'm talking about, usually a long dress that has a slit down the side.
Ah, I know what that is.
Would it be Line Dancer? And yes, Philia is the Roserade.
All right, I'm going to put that previous session picture up again because it's been a while.
It's so cute.
It's very cute.
But yes, very different from her appearance, as you know. But you proceed. And when you come upon the door to the back room, you find it locked, or at the very least, it doesn't budge when you try to open it. Oh no, have I lost more people?
No,
I'm
I'm
still
just thinking.
Okay. Sorry.
Take your time. I mean, we're waiting for Tubby to get back anyways.
I really don't want Ryder to be all brash and stuff. They're very, methodic. So, they're just going to politely knock, assuming that maybe there's someone on the inside who could let them in.
Okay, it is at this point that we would actually have to pause until
Yeah.
Tubby can return. So,
Tubby's involved. Kind of important.
everybody stretch, get water. I'm going to do both and possibly use the bathroom. So I will be right back. Audience, take care of yourselves.
Yes.
Mom Jolt says so.
I am drinking water.
Bet no one was expecting Ryder to just walk in as the answer to getting inside.
Well, you had the benefit of calling out the one person who just theatrically and very expensively got in the back anyways, so it's like, oh, well, if they know them,
I mean more just walking away from the alleyway.
Oh, yeah, that. Well, it makes sense.
Yeah,
They wouldn't want their sniper literally shoot up the entrance to a business they're trying to actually have as a business.
Mm-hmm. And I figured if I tried anything else, I might just, draw the attention myself. I didn't really have any other good moves I could do. But this worked. What are they gonna do? Shoot the building?
Now, see, the thing is, they got people inside too, so at that point, it's up to those people. I suppose if you cause trouble.
Yeah, they got people on the inside.
And that's why I couldn't, run or teleport in either, because then that looks sus.
Yeah.
So I just have to casually walk in like nothing.
I heard a Tubby.
Did you?
Oh, yeah.
I thought I did. Perhaps I was mistaken.
Well, that's okay. You might have heard him shuffling or something. Well, he could be around, at least, but...
I really got to think of what's going to happen next, though, because I had an idea of what I wanted to do with the Wooper, but I wasn't expecting the Zoroark. I expected, the two Wobbuffet there.
Of course, this is assuming that it's
Zoroark.
this is assuming it's the Zoroark that we met. It could be another one, though. It probably would be him. He seems the most prominent businessman that would be in this area. So, the other thing is, is the Wooper going to recognize Ralph? I don't think so, right? They'll only recognize you.
No, the Wooper never saw Ralph before.
That's what I thought. Okay.
But they might recognize Ryda.
Yeah.
The Zoroark might recognize Ralph.
Okay, backish.
Hello.
Then
Still no
again, I
Tubby?
think Ralph was still a Munchlax. when
Must have
last-
been an important phone call.
I'm kind of listening now.
Hi, is it an important phone call?
Yeah.
Okay.
Sorry.
I
That's
just-
okay.
That's okay. Just finish that up first, and we'll continue when you can.
In the meantime, I can at least give Ryda a roll. Ryda, can you give me an insight contest? Actually, insight survival alert first.
Right, alert.
Ooh.
Oh, damn.
Oh no.
Alright, let's do Insight Contest Channel next, then. At the -2.
Right, conscience. Yeah. So, 8.
Hi, Kenny.
Yeah, better.
Okay, that's a bit better. So while Ryda cannot see it exactly, they are able to sense that the force keeping the door in place is some sort of psychic barrier.
Mm-hmm.
Properly
appears-
reinforced.
It appears to have been overlaid on the door or in its mechanisms in such a manner that makes it very difficult for you to see.
Let you know that's an important place.
That's a good thing to know.
Where is everyone? GDQ checks. Everyone's seen Super Mario 64 by now. Super Mario 64 is like never going to not be popular, though. To be fair, but also, I don't think my viewership has actually been that bad with GDQ going on. At least it wasn't yesterday.
Yeah. The main thing is GDQ does charities. I think it's every year.
Yeah.
This one is, I believe, cancer prevention.
I mean, I'm always confident with GDQ. They do good things. I don't care for speedrunning personally, but I do appreciate the charity work.
Yeah. And even if you aren't a fan of like the whole speedrunning or whatever it is that GDQ does or plays, you can still donate to the charity.
True.
And GDQ is one of those where, yeah, it's easy to endorse them because, as far as I know, they haven't really done anything bad. They are a trustworthy charity.
Yeah. And GDQ has mostly been okay too. There's been some bad eggs in the community for that, but otherwise, though, GDQ has been fun. Like GDQ is too corporatized according to Beerus nowadays. That's quite possible. It's been around for a while, so it gets bigger.
Very possible.
I do like charity work, though. I enjoyed doing the Catch a Million that we did in last year. It was fun. That was nice to involve myself in a charity event like that. I think we all had a good time of it too, as a community. I think I more prefer charity events like that where you get your individual communities involved rather than having a big conglomerate. But either or works. Whatever makes money for a good cause, honestly. As long as the charity is a good cause and not one of those. Yeah, like you said, some charities are not as good, unfortunately. Some of them are more like.
Yeah, it was important.
That's fair.
Brother wanted my opinion on a decision that my sister may or may not take. But yeah.
Important family decisions. I got you.
Yes, indeed.
All right.
I was mostly listening. I know Rita was brought into the back. You were describing the paintings.
Not completely in the back. They're still. They can't. They just knocked on the door to enter the room you're in. But it's coming back to you. It's coming back to Ralph now, though, because Ralph was having the more current scene in that room. I did.
Right.
Just in case the rest of you haven't seen Kyrio's message, they're starting to not feel well, so they may end a little early. I think that's fine. I think for this session we've made a lot of good progress.
Hey.
I'm still going to keep going until like 10, if possible.
That sounds
like
good.
Eastern, because that's our usual time to stop, or at least as close to as we can.
Yeah. Ralph would have been listening as best he could without, making it super obvious. Eating his delicious meal.
Spaghetti and sauce.
Yeah. So tragic.
Part of me likes to imagine our waiting screen, by the way, was Brooke testing things on his coat. And
maybe making small talk with the Litwick. So, a pretty sweet gig you got here, little flamey boy.
I apologize, I will respond to you. But yes, Kyrio, please take care of yourself. If you need to step away now, please do step away now and focus on yourself.
Yeah, if you're feeling lightheaded, just go lay down, man.
Thanks for the session, guys.
Yeah,
For sure.
out.
Thank you
Thanks for coming.
Bye.
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 Right then. Ralph.
Oh, wait, hold on. Wait. Gotta do a thing real fast for my own benefit. I'm going to look at the background for 10 seconds on screen so I can find a normal, logical breakpoint. So if Kyrio wants to watch what happened afterwards, he left. That's the breakpoint.
Okay.
And makes it easier that way to kind of give him a time step. Okay, cool. All right, now back to game.
Okay. Yay. So, the Litwick doesn't engage with you at first, Ralph. At least not while the Garçon is there. Or host, or however you would like to say it. No, Garçon is a in-kitchen term, isn't it? No, it would have to be host. In any case. However, there is a muffled knock at the door, which causes the Mr. Rhyme to hold up a finger that basically gesturing that they'll be back in a minute, and they go to tend to the door. And the Litwick seems happy to have a very quiet conversation with Ralph. Park a moment while I give it a voice.
Oh yeah, very easy gig, but kind of strict. Nice tats though, and they adjust their little bow tie.
Very cute little boy cat. Say, I bet you're privy to all sorts of secrets of all the influential and powerful Pokemon, such as myself, that frequent these dining facilities.
The Litwick is going to smirk.
Oh sure. Is that why I haven't seen you before? Come on.
Yeah, I'm recently ascended, as it were, to the status of rich and powerful.
Oh, so you're a gambler, huh?
Smug smile.
In a non-traditional sense, yes. It's not far from the truth at all.
It's always the risk takers that come in here thinking they're established. Not like those ones at the table. You know, the other one. They don't even have to gesture.
And what makes us so different?
Those who love taking risks and make their money quick and fast. They don't exactly get the rules of what it means to be part of the rich and the powerful. And those aren't exactly mutually exclusive terms either.
What rules are there to follow? As far as I understand, the only rules of the rich and powerful are whoever's rich and powerful makes all the rules.
You aren't wrong. But let me ask you this, Mr. Newly Rich. What happens when someone who's rich and powerful crosses the rules of the other rich and powerful?
I suppose, you have a fight and whoever's better at cheating wins.
Let me ask you one more question before I shut up, and our son looks like he's going to come back. Who do you think is the most powerful group right now in all of Sea Spray? It's not just one.
It's, the most powerful mon in all Sea Spray? Oh, well, if I hazard a guess, I imagine it's, Whooper's daddy over there.
Their smug smile drops.
Well informed. Well, so long as you stick to the rules, just means you'll stick around longer. And it's hard to find good, new conversation around here. They're the newest conversation we've had in ages. Enjoy your meal, sir.
God, I love flirting with dangerous information.
The Olympics would be amazing moles.
Mm-hmm. So Ralph is absolutely correct in that the Litwicks probably know way more than any other Pokemon in Sea Spray at the moment.
Honestly, that's very smart, because you wouldn't really think about it, too. You'd loose lips, sink ships, but you wouldn't think about the Litwicks.
The problem with Ralph trying to extract information from them is that they've probably had that happen before, and also there's probably some sort of rule in place that enforces the confidence of the area.
Yeah. You'd really have to, sell one of them on the idea.
If push comes to shove, I am much bigger and stronger than a Litwick.
Yeah, but that's not really... The environment you're in, though, I don't feel like that would work very well.
No, I don't like that.
No, you'd have to sell them on, giving you information, something that benefits them.
It's entirely
Just
possible.
take him, put him... Take my, I'm joking with this, by the way. We can take my, tie, wrap his little mouth up so he can't scream, put him in my backpack. Take him with me.
Backpack gets set on fire.
I was gonna say, he's literally on fire, though.
Backpack's burning as I'm walking out. This is fine. This is
Just
normal.
act natural.
It wouldn't surprise me if there might also be a way to purchase information. But there's, again, it would kind of be like the Continental rules from the John Wick movies, books, etc. There's probably a whole lot that goes into ensuring things remain status quo without causing absolute unbalance.
If the Litwicks start talking too much, they could get in big trouble given the situation. So, again, something needs to be in it for them. For sure. And it's gotta be done it's gotta be done. I mean, I don't know if they just stay there all day, if that's like their 24/7 thing they do, because I mean, they're ghost types, they could. But I don't know if they have like go home or something.
I have a strategy.
Oh, I'm sure. I'm sure. So, Ryda, if you're present.
Oh no.
Oh no, did Hydra get pulled away?
Did Hydra get pulled away too?
Wait, am I muted or something?
No, you're there. You are. Okay.
Now you're there.
I was
You said
responding.
you said nothing besides before that. Was the reason.
Oh, okay. Well, the door opens for you, Ryda, and before you stands a Mr. Rhyme. And in your head, you hear a voice. Ah, you appear to be the Signora who is accompanying our newest guest. Please enter, and mind your manners and roll you.
Ryda will give a polite nod and walk in.
They gesture you in and politely shut the door quietly behind you. And they lead you over to Ralph's table. Along the way, you do see the Litwick stationed at the tables, as well as in the four corners of the room with their different colored flames. And you also notice the Zoroark sitting at one of the orange-lit tables, along with the Wooper being flanked by a pair of Wobbuffet. Luckily enough for you, it doesn't seem like the Wooper sees you pass by.
Because he is short.
I was implying that the Zoroark is floofy.
I mean, yeah, that too.
There's a lot of factors. The Wooper's short, Ryda's short, and the Zoroark is huge.
Also, the Wobbuffet are kind of flanking the Wooper, which is blocking his vision.
Yes.
By the way, Ralph, you... Oh, sorry?
No, I was just gonna say Ryda just makes their way to Ralph without making a scene or anything, but does note about the table of Pokemon.
By the way, Ralph, when the door opens and Ryda is walking past with the Mr. Rhyme, the other table stops talking completely. They were talking in hushed tones before, similar to you with the Litwick, but they stopped talking completely when that happened.
Ah.
Mm-hmm.
It's not until Ryda sits down that they resume their very hushed conversation.
Glad you made it, honey.
Ryda squints at that remark.
Wait, what was that remark?
I said,
Glad you made it, honey.
That's not what you said, but I was like, wait, what?
Yeah, I had to do a double take too. You're not wrong.
Wait, what was that? What exactly was that expression? Like, okay, I guess it was that.
For... Oh, right, that's you in the chat, Hydra, asking about Eternaz's title.
Yeah, I couldn't remember. I thought someone else would remember.
It is specifically Lord of Condemnation.
Okay, I couldn't remember what the first bit was.
Yep.
Okay.
Most legendaries are very good about not claiming the title of God.
I'm going to wait till Mr. Rhyme walks away again before I introduce Ryda to my new Litwick friend.
The Mr. Rhyme will leave a fancy-looking menu with Ryda and telepathically tell them, if you should wish to order anything, Signora, please inform our little friends here. They will ensure the message is passed on. Enjoy your stay. And they leave, quiet as can be. The door is shut, and you can feel the barrier go up again.
Nice. So, my new friend here, you won't mind if I call you a friend, do you, little guy? he doesn't seem to think that our method of acquiring power is quite as stable as those guys over there.
And what exactly did you divulge was our method?
Certainly not giving away precious jewels.
They give a very pointed look to you, Ryda.
So, do you recognize me?
Hardly. But we hear things.
No, I don't think you've heard much. Prove it.
Fair is fair. Ask a question.
What have you
I
heard
just know
about?
where I can retrieve my jewel.
The Litwick smirks a bit, glancing out. What's the capital's?
I'm sorry, but it does feel like a Ralph question. Like, oh, you know things? All right, then.
But the Litwick smirks as they glance over to Ralph.
Ooh, she beat you to it. Don't worry. I'll give you a turn since I'm so nice. But if you want to know where your jewel is, you might want to ask the other guest. I'm sure you're already acquainted.
We might be, we might not be.
Funny, considering all the rich and powerful are starting to pay obeisance to their family. Even the Zoroark over there has to do it. Kind of impressive, given they only came here about a month ago.
Well, as esteemed pioneers, I dare say we outrank that. What's the highest rank? I'm gonna lie and say we're the highest rank.
Are you sure you want to do that? Do you not have your rank visible?
Ralph, do not lie to this Litwick. This thing knows everything.
Because, nah.
Lying to the Litwick would just
If
be
you want
amusing to it,
get
but
the
you,
right information, tell the truth to your advantage.
if you lie to a ghost, the ghost's gonna fuck with you, man.
I want Ralph to do what Ralph wants to do.
Yeah, true, but...
I mean, I'm probably undercover anyway, but
Go for it,
the
Ralph.
highest rank that we have here is Diamond rank, or whatever the equivalent name would be.
yeah, as diamond level pioneers, we're pretty well respected ourselves. Yeah, among other things, that's obviously not our only title. And yet you've never heard of either of us. Makes me wonder how much you actually do know. Maybe you don't pay attention at all.
Ooh. Alright, Ralph. Give me a tough contest. Perform.
Come on, RNG, Jesus. I need that RNG privilege.
You still have a reroll left. I'm gonna be right back.
Here we go. Smart contest perform. Let's go. Alright, not too shabby.
I don't know, man.
Way to
That's
go.
high risk. I'm not sure if 4 is enough, but hopefully it is. I feel like we need a critical on this sort of thing.
Gosh, it sucks that I got 2 1s there, because it'd be a
You are playing with fire, and I do mean that in the ironic
literally.
pun sense as well, yes.
In short, I don't have to directly ask questions as long as the Litwick just keeps talking.
Oh, okay. I'm back.
It's the same thing. I've used this tactic to get people to get NPCs to tell me stuff they wouldn't have before, so just talk to them long enough, they'll eventually accidentally tell you shit.
Alright, so in response to Ralph's goading...
That's a nice try. But we're experienced here. We're not like that nutjob that worked for the Zoroark. Oh no. But it's cute that you think we don't know about the arena champions. Let alone the team champs. In fact, the only real enigma is you.
They look to Ryda.
You're
Yep.
new. Of course, the little boss over there couldn't help gloating about how they took that gem off you. You seem to be a really upright soul. I can practically taste it on my flame.
You must be mistaken. That is nothing like me.
You sacrifice something particularly valuable to save someone else. What is that, if not goodly?
That was simply an object that had no value. They can be replaced.
Yeah, we're selfless like that. You might call us heroes.
Hardly.
I do not use that word.
Good Samaritan is about as far as I'm willing to go for any mod. Nobody can claim the title of hero. Not really. You could save the entire world and still be an absolutely terrible Pokemon.
You can also be an utter monster and do good deeds.
Quite so. I haven't had this much good rhetoric in a while.
Indeed, indeed. So, so you really think be as vague as possible? So you really think the service that, the shorty over there is peddling is really that good? So good that, you don't think I can top him? So look at my, fingers in incredibly vague language.
Where you are, I find it highly unlikely. Your enterprise, if you even have one, is completely unheard of.
Maybe I secretly own this restaurant.
Okay, now you're just being blatant, and that makes it unfun. They try to cross their little arms. Also, I appreciate you getting out a model. I didn't expect the Litwick to be this important. They just cross their little arms, giving Ralph a somewhat grumpy look as they shut up. By the way, does Ryda actually order anything, or are they letting the menu sit there?
Right, is not ordering anything. This does pose a very good position, though, because they don't know anything about Ryda, but they know everything about everyone else.
Is Ryda able to acknowledge that, by the way? The fact that this Litwick really does know a lot?
Yeah, like from straight off the bat, that's why Ryda was very hesitant to speak anything around this thing. Because, you know, if I say anything, it learns and then can spread information. For as much as we can get out of it, it can get a lot out of us, too.
Yeah.
I think so far all he's got out of me is that I talk a lot.
What you have learned about this, though, is that Litwick does enjoy gathered information, being that information itself could be a commodity.
Yeah. And, Ralph has also, caught the little snippet of, you think I don't know about the, champions in the arena? So I know it has something to do with that.
Yeah, Ralph is most Merle. Ralph is most certainly not going to be effective with this Litwick. The Litwick will get everything out of him and give nothing out.
I already got something though.
True, but the proportions though.
Ralph doesn't have a whole lot to hide though.
True.
It's true. But also,
Oh.
champions for the arena are particularly well known regardless.
That's fair.
And Team Cheer kind of made a name for themselves when they were last here.
Yeah. I'm gonna try and force my way inside this dude's mind. See what dicks. Try and do it subtly.
Oh, you're gonna try to get into a ghost type's mind? Oh boy.
Alrighty, oh boy.
Yeah, I'm gonna try and listen.
First off, would be Insight, Survival, Stealth at a -2.
Oh my. Oh, that's only 4 die. Let's see here. Oh, that's not very good.
Alright,
Yeah, it's a little poke.
and we're gonna do Insight, Fight, Channel at -4. Mostly
Insight,
because
Insight fight channel at what?
-4.
Alright.
Mostly because this isn't something you've really tried before.
Well, learning experience, I suppose.
Consistent.
Are you keeping those rolls?
You still have hat.
I'm gonna hat the second one.
Okay. I just wanted to ask.
Yeah. Because that's a 5 dice roll. I can do better than 2.
If it was 2 unmitigated.
And you can do worse than 2.
Oh.
Oh no, I was
lame.
hoping I was keeping my tongue, but I was a little worried.
Oh.
I don't think 2 would have been enough anyway.
You're correct. I'm glad that isn't going into the negatives. So you're trying to be subtle about this, Ralph, but you do get a sort of look of concentration on your face. And you're trying to sort of force your way into another Pokemon's mind. 1, who isn't psychic, and 2, where you're not necessarily welcome.
Yeah, not welcome.
You are.
And I've never done this.
You are absolutely stonewalled. And it's kind of strange, because you'd think a Litwick, first stage Pokemon, sure, it's a ghost type, it's a little hard to get in their heads, but it's almost like you were stopped at the door.
Yeah. Well, I mean, couldn't be too surprising. There's absolutely 0 chance I'm the first person to try that.
You would also be correct. Not that Ralph could probably surmise that. But also, it's less like they stopped you at the door, and more like something else stopped you at the door.
Mr. Mime with interference. Or maybe just the
Right,
sort of enchantment on the room.
I would like Ryder to chime in with a question.
Sure.
I don't suppose you can tell me a bit about Philia.
Philia? They look a little surprised and intrigued. Now, why would you want to know about our old singer?
A past singer. Good to know. You see, I'm currently being hired by her as a dancer. I wish to know more about my employer beforehand.
Give me a... We're going to do a smart contest perform for that one. Or no, not a cool contest perform. You aren't necessarily lying, but the part where you're lying...
Oh, that's nice. I never read that Pokedex entry for Litwick. I've read most of them, but I didn't read the Shield entry. It's very nice. Very, very pleasant. The younger the life this Pokemon absorbs, the brighter and eerier on its flame birds. On its head birds.
Oh, yeah.
That's a mean one. Holy crap.
Yeah, the Dark Pokedex entries, for some reason, get very grim. Like, Grimm's fairy tales when it involves children in any way.
Yeah.
But, you know, they're also kind of based off of yokai, so, Right then.
Really now?
Their eyes widen a little as they grin. You've given them new information.
That's the point.
Philia was here when we started out. All the way back when Sea Spray first formed. That was ages ago. Of course, she moved on eventually. What she does now, I think it suits her. Not necessarily the company she's been keeping, but that's just the opinion of his own little candle.
And by company, I assume you mean and Ryder gestures sort of to the table.
Oh no, I never said anything about that.
Their expression is... It's not entirely smug. It's just knowing. It's very clear that they are intentionally being vague, and they're not hiding that.
Mm-hmm.
What did you want to know about Philia? She's one of the few we can actually talk about.
I had nothing in particular, just general information. As I said, I just wish to know more about my employer beforehand. It would be a shame to go into another position just to be let go rather quickly.
Oh, is that all you're worried about?
The Litwick seems mildly disappointed.
Philia always gives her new applicants a fair shake. I'm surprised, though. I thought she already had main entertainment.
No one is as entertaining as we are.
I wonder if that Starina that she hired a while back finally got stale.
A shame. I thought you would have given me more information, considering what I know about her. Though our conversation was brief, she did dilute some stuff that even you might have missed.
Do tell. Maybe there's something I'm not saying.
But if it is something that you do not know, then who am I to expose such?
Give me a smart contest allure. Brad is being rude. Ralph, make Ryder say
There's
things.
something, though, that I'm thinking about that they didn't evolve, but I know.
Well, if we don't know it yet, we'll know it soon. Eventually, All information comes back to the candles.
What's a hilarious rumor I could start?
What was that, Ralph?
I'm just thinking it would be funny as hell to all information comes back to the candles. This would be the perfect place to start a hilarious rumor.
Pretty sure you have to substantiate it, though.
I'm amused by this idea, Ralph. How dare you amuse me with this idea? By the way, Ralph, how long do you take in eating?
It's probably pretty quick. Yeah, I suppose all information does come back to here. I have a little tidbit you might want to know. I know more about Short Stack over there than I'm letting on. For instance, did you know that he, more than anything, even more than this restaurant, really likes himself some spicy food? Like, the spicier the better.
Why do I find that particularly doubtful?
There's just no good spicy food restaurants here.
Again, doubtful.
Alright, suit yourself. Easy one-way trip to his good side.
You say that, and yet we have no record of them ever going to any spicy food place. And there's spicy food served in plenty of restaurants around here. We just don't happen to cater particularly much to it. It overshadows the more refined tastes of our pasta.
I mean, if you don't, then how do you know where else he's going?
Because we know it's our job.
Yeah. When's the last time you... Never mind.
Hey. What? What do you mean, never mind? They squint.
It's like this phrase when you were about to say something but then realized it wasn't important.
I know what the phrase means. What do you mean, never mind?
Ryder will sort of look over to Ralph. Ralph, do you remember why we are here? Our employer asked us to have a meeting with the Rooper. We shouldn't be too late.
Yes.
But...
They squint.
My time is valuable. We shouldn't keep either of us waiting. Adjust my tie.
I need both of you to give me a cool contest perform at a -2.
Oh shoot, I didn't -2 it. Oh, there we go. I can take them back. Sweet. Wait, that a -2? Hold up. Oh, cool contest. 1, 4. Okay, yeah, that's right.
The Litwick doesn't say anything when you all get up, but at this time, the Zoroark would have excused himself.
Vroom.
Well, yeah, he wouldn't have just zipped out, but he would have left dignified.
He zoomed out.
Dignified walks to the door as soon as he's outside of the barrier.
Well, I say that, but they're walking with a cane.
Ah. I'm not even surprised to hear that, actually. Yeah, that makes sense.
It may have been a while, but the injury they sustained
that was a bad one.
substantial.
Yeah.
Thus leaving the Wooper and their guards to finish their meal.
I'd like to clarify what I was talking about, because it seemed like I just asked a random question out of nowhere. So my idea was to basically give the give the Litwick the information they wanted. They wanted to know about Rida, so I gave them a rumor to go off of. So now they think Rida is currently being employed by Philia, a well-known name.
Huh. I don't quite get your angle, but there's definitely an angle there.
No, I understand what Rida is doing. It's very clever, and it doesn't necessarily contradict the information that the Litwick have.
Mm-hmm.
The Litwick know that Rida gave over something valuable in order to help someone who is not in the good graces of the Wooper. This does not necessarily contradict the idea that Rida could be hired by Philia.
And it might explain why they were in a similar area. Let's collaborate.
I feel like the Litwick knows that everything out of my mouth is a 50-50 shot at being a straight up lie.
Wow, 50-50. Really, you're really complimenting yourself on that ratio.
The Litwick are aware that when Ralph was a Munchlax, he tried to make out with a lamppost.
Of course, they find out about the lamppost. Might have been one of their cousins.
They have tabs.
I actually thought about maybe flashing the wanted poster and being like, I'm a top guy in the underground crime, in the underground crime world. Just flash the wanted poster real quick.
The Litwick would see the wanted poster. Just all it has to see is a quick flash, and it's like, that's in order for you to be banned from a bar.
But yeah, that's something I had in the back of my head. Like, that'd be kind of funny, but went for a different angle.
So I take it Rida and Ralph are getting up to approach the Wooper's table.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This is where we will end for tonight, then.
Okay.
And I feel like we have made some decent progress for only having played for like 2.5 hours and having low energy and sick.
And wanted back up to play it again.
Yes.
Yeah, I had 2 massive coffee fits that almost put me into feeling unconscious, but I'm good. I have a mute button, so I'm fine.
Well, I hope you recover more.
Man, I could just imagine a strut walking over. Aw, shit, here we go again.
No, I did forget something, so I will share it now. I forgot to share all the fan art. There was a bit more.
Oh, excellent.
So let me pop that over as we close out. Firstly, actually, I'm just going to make a copy.
Just going to remind myself, just in case I try to look back at this video, we ended off on number 33.
Yes. So,
yes.
the Aqua recently, Snowflake the V Aqua was doing some art from older sessions. This is like from back in session 14. I don't remember the scene, but involving Tucker Gain Sad. And they also did everyone's favorite character. I don't know why that merged to the table. There we go.
If this like sting operation were in Savantown and we wanted to create a distraction, all I'd have to do is be like, oh, you're the person who has, and I turn away, gold, lots of it, aren't you? And then while they're dealing with that, we do whatever it is we need to do.
And then lastly, this was there was already a Christmas version of this, but Reese did a New Year's variation of this earlier, so I'll share that too.
Very nice.
That's all.
All right. Well, thank you very much, everyone, for the session. I hope you enjoyed.
Yeah, it'll be nice to see what happens next time, and we should be back on our normal 2-week schedule at this point, as I assume.
Hopefully.
Assuming that works for everybody. Well, hopefully I'll be not sick at all by next session. That's the hope, at least. Because if I'm sick by then, that means I've been sick for 4 weeks, so that's not very good. But yes, I hope everybody had a good time. Again, apologies for my voice, but hey, I think it worked out well enough overall. I was able to still voice Tucker pretty okay, so feel good about that. But yeah, hopefully also Kyrio feels better because he's been feeling that dizziness and stuff. It seems like he's had an off and on sickness that's kind of gone up and down, kind of unpredictably. So hopefully it actually goes away from him and he feels all the way better too soon because he kind of needs to. But yeah, thank you everyone for joining, and thank you everyone, both players, DM, and viewers. Thank you for being so patient with all the delays and such. I do appreciate that. Sometimes a game needs a bit of hiatus anyways, like especially when it's been running so long. It's okay to have a month or two off now and then. Like technically speaking, that's not really that unreasonable. That's why TV shows have seasons, so that they can take a break and produce new record new content stuff and such. Don't forget XP. Yes, we do not need to forget XP. Let's do that.
Yes.
I'll do Kyrio's sheet.
Yep. Everybody get your 2 XP.
Okay. All right, there.
I know Brooke didn't do terribly much, but I know what they were doing in the background. There's a reason I said the loadings or waiting screen was just Brooke trying to put different things on their new coat.
Like when you're stuck in one of those old point and click games and you used everything on everything.
Yes.
I can imagine what that looks like in the world. Like you have there's a couple of the objects in front of you. Like you have a screwdriver and you have a coffee cup and your character just sort of puts them together. Your character just sort of taps them together. No, that's not quite right. They take like a toothbrush and rub it against the screwdriver. No, that's not right.
But yeah, I suppose. Okay, I added experiences for those 2 sheets. Everybody else added their experience?
Yeah, and I also got a point in Intimidate.
Oh, okay.
Preemptively.
It's not a bad idea.
Because I have a plan for next session that may...
Social stats are cheap.
We'll
They're
see
worth
how it
getting.
goes.
Worth getting. They might be very useful sometimes. They
Yeah.
impact some rolls just as much as more expensive points, so...
Yeah. I might go for more Intimidate just because I could have a million bajillion Intimidate.
You are deemed to lack it a little bit on social stats, Ralph. I know this. Not a whole bunch of them. Just a handful.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, Tucker, I've just gone nuts, honestly.
Ralph makes it up more than enough with his base stats.
That's true. That's true. But
Ralph is a powerhouse.
But yeah, you all have a good night. And we'll play again in a couple weeks. But yeah, this was session. What session was this? 118. Session 118 of Pokerole. 119 will be in another couple weeks. I hope you guys enjoyed. Stay tuned for more streams in the meantime. I may be sick, but I'm not going to be stopping my streaming schedule, I don't believe. We should have all the normal streams unless I start feeling really terrible or something. I'll let you guys know if that's the case. But otherwise, streams should happen like normal now. But yeah, you guys have a good night. Thanks again for coming by. And I'll see you all again soon for more Pokerole.
Night.
Woo!